What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Night and Day Performance, back with another video. We are finishing up Black Betty, as you can see on the dyno. We got her ready, we got her strapped down, and now we're gonna see what numbers she finally makes. We had some issues. The other shop installed the wrong fuel system. Of course, we've been dealing with issues with this car nonstop because people don't know what they're doing. But we got everything straightened out. Jose's happy. It's running good. It sounds good. You guys heard the idle clip. Now we're gonna get it on the dyno and see what numbers it actually makes. I want to see you guys put some guesses down in the comments before they come up. How much power do you think Black Betty's going to make on the dyno? High compression, NA, 6.4 Hemi, ported heads, custom cam, everything. Max effort build, 6.4. How much power do you think it's going to make? We're on a dyno jet. But anyways, we're going to get into it. It's already strapped down. We're going to get to our first dyno pull, which will be a light one to 6,000 RPM, so we can get everything dialed in and see if everything's correct on fueling before we go wide open past that to our final number, which we're going to try to spend to 7,800 RPM. We should see. Stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't done so already to the channel. I'll catch you guys here in a few minutes. Let's get on the dyno and get rolling. Alright, so that went great. 6,200 RPM. That's pretty much on average for what, you know, Hemis do that all day. Not a big deal, not a big accomplishment, but it is loud and it is screaming. And as you can see from the dyno graph, it's not laying over. It's not losing power. It hasn't even peaked as far as torque. It hasn't peaked as far as horsepower yet. And once it hits peak torque, normally you still can have your horsepower gaining, you know, normally 1,000 to 1,500 RPM past that point. So we haven't even hit peak torque yet. So we're going to keep pushing it up a little higher. 533 horsepower is great for a baseline, basically. This is not a first tune. I want to say this is revision 3 or 4 for Ryan total on this car, including all the stuff we've had to fix along the way. So that's fabulous. Great job to Ryan. FRP, make sure if you're wanting to get your vehicles tuned, give Ryan a call. FRPtuning.com. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram as well. Send them an email. Give them a phone call. If you need tuning assistance anywhere in the United States, they can do it, except Cali. We really don't work with Cali that much, but anybody else that, you know, is normal in the automotive realm that needs a tune, give them a shout. Ryan will never disappoint you. If you want to do something in person, bring it to us here at Night and Day Performance. We can do the tuning as far as the driving portion, while Ryan does the actual tuning portion. So we'll do the drivability portion. We'll do the street logs. We'll do the dyno logs. We'll put it on the dyno if it needs to be put on the dyno. So you're getting everything all encompassed all at once, and you don't have to do anything besides give me your vehicle and give me a little bit of money so we can get it done. Anyways, we're going to jump to the next pull. We're going to bump it up about 1,000 RPM. Because it didn't even seem like it bothered anything with 6,200. Let's pull to 7,200 and see how this car does. All right, it took it like a champ. 7,200 RPM, didn't even bother the car at all. It took it without an issue, without a hiccup, without a hesitation. And as you can see there on the dyno graph, 583 rear wheel horsepower on this exact same dyno, stock 392s. On a normal basis, we see 420 to 430 out of them on average. We've seen as low as 410. Put that into account, we have over 150 rear wheel horsepower gain on an NA car. No nitrous, no supercharger, no turbo, just all pure motor. And that's basically because of the parts that we're using in this motor. FRP's drop-in pistons, FRP's custom grind Sentinel cam that we had made specifically for this build. We have Johnson lifters. We have the rocker stabilizers in here to handle the RPM. We have RPM springs. We have Pack Racing. I don't remember exactly which ones we had, but I know the spring pressure, I want to say the open spring pressure is right around 420 to 440 on this one. So it's up there in spring pressure to make sure that those valves don't hang at the higher RPM. So it loved it. It didn't have an issue at all with it. And now we're going to carry it up a little higher. The next pull, we're going to go, I believe we're going to go to like 7,400 RPM. So let's get to that. Let's get to the next pull. All right, 7,400 RPM, not a problem at all. And as you can see, I didn't mention it earlier in the last clip, but we hit peak torque right around 6,300 RPM. So that puts us right on target to hit our peak horsepower between 73 to probably 76, 7,700 RPM, which is right on track for what we want. This goal for this build was for it to be a high RPM, high compression, roll racing, some dig racing, but basically to optimize power in the higher RPMs and carry the power as far into the RPM range as we can. And to do that, we had to make sure we had the right camshaft. Camshaft will help you a lot when it comes to keeping the power in the RPM band and carrying it out over the entire length of the RPM range. So the Sentinel cam that we have is fabulous. And this one is not on the site right now for FRP or myself because this one we made specifically for Black Betty. Not sure if Ryan is going to start producing these, but we always make custom grinds with Ryan if you need them. If you have an application like this one that's not like an everyday build, we can do that. The high ram you see on this one is a Holley high ram. It's an LS and a Hemi high ram put together. So that's why it looks a little different than others. It has a custom little inlet tube. There's no filter on it. It has a bell mouth. Purely race car is what it's inspired for. But the car loved it. 7,400 RPM. You see the numbers here, 583 again, and then we dropped to 575 because what happened was we did 583 and for some reason, something weird happened. I did an immediate pull right after the 583. So 583 slowed down right back to the first gear, came right back up, and did another pull right after 575. It didn't even flinch at the fact that it was getting hot or anything else. I mean, it lost maybe 10, but all accounts, it's good. So next, we're going to do our spin to the moon pull. We're going to turn it to 8,000 RPM. Ryan told me to go to 78. However, I got a little happy and I spun it to 79.99, I think it was. So 8,000 RPM. And do you guys think it held together? Do you think it did fine? You're about to find out. So let's jump into that. Let's hear this Hemi, and I'm going to give you a front view, and then I'm going to give you a view of under the car so you can really hear what a Hemi sounds like turning 8,000 RPM. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get to the video. There you have it. 8,000 RPM without a flinch, without a hesitation, without a problem. That's what happens when you have stuff built the correct way. We have everything done, spec'd out, clearance, measure-wise. Everything is good. The motor ran fabulous, and it makes the power. Now, do we need to spin it to 8,000 RPM? No. A lot of people are going to say, hey, you hit peak power around 7,400 RPM. Why were you spinning to 8,000? Because I don't care. We wanted to see what it would do. We wanted to see how long it would carry the power and how bad it fell off after that point. And it really didn't. It fell off a little bit in the power, but as you can see in the dyno graph, it kind of went to that 583 and it just pretty much carried it out and stayed right around that range. It dropped a few horsepower, but that tells you that you can literally take this car and race it and have fun at the higher RPMs, and you're still going to keep maintaining that good power. So, great thing. Great job on the tuning, Ryan. Appreciate it. If you guys are looking for a build for yourself, give us a shout. Night and Day Performance. It's www.nightandayperformance.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have our website. We have our phone number, 713-344-2191. If you're looking to get a build done, let us know, and we can make sure that we get you on the schedule, and we can get you everything spec'd out the way you need it, and get you however you want your car. We can make it happen. And don't worry, if you're not in the Houston area, we can send a transport truck to come pick your car up and bring it to us no matter where you are in the United States, as long as you're not in Cali. Didn't think you guys were going to pass with that one. We don't deal with California residents. It has nothing against you. We don't like your government. You guys have way too many rules, regulations against aftermarket cars. We don't want to get intertwined with it. We don't want to entertain it. We don't want to argue with California's government. And we don't want customers getting mad at us because their car is getting sent over to get inspected, getting flagged, getting pulled over, getting tickets. Don't even want to deal with it. So if you're in Cali, sorry. All the rest of the United States, give us a shout. We'll get you taken care of. But give us in the comments what you guys think of this build. You guys think this was great? You guys have any Hemis spinning over 8,000 RPM with factory heads? These are not Tytex. These are factory CNC ported heads we do right here in Houston, Texas with our partners, Hooper's Heads. They port all the heads for FRP and myself. CNC porting is fabulous, and that's what's done to these heads. So till next time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of this one. You guys have a great one. Stay blessed. Keep modifying. Keep those cars fast. Never let the V8 era die.